All right, welcome, folks. Mil-Spec Opsmaker here. This is going to be your 6:30 p.m. live show coming to you from the great state of Texas for Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. And so, without further ado, let me jump over to the main camera. But make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and bell for notifications so you are up on the latest and greatest as we get through this stuff. And now, let me change cams here for you, give you guys the puppy cam. So it's been raining in Texas all day today, and that dog has done nothing but that all day today. So that said, the map, as we kind of look at what's going on around the world, Afghanistan is our biggest focus right now. Of course, that's our focus. I'm going to show you something here in a second that's going to be quite interesting, actually, as we start looking at what the priority is for flashbang. And so you just can't make this stuff up. It's actually insane. So let's get over here real fast to flashbang schedule. I'm just going to show you guys now. In the chat, I was actually asking the question, what do you think is more important to our administration? Is it going to be Afghanistan or is it COVID? And so let me just show you. So this was on the docket for today. For the White House, and so, or sorry, the Senior Living Center. You can see getting an early start this morning. It's 9:30 instead of 10, so he's actually stretching his day a little bit. But this is all they're meeting about. They're actually talking about the pandemic and the programs. That is more important to them than what's going on in the world right now in terms of Afghanistan. Not even on the docket. Kind of interesting. But this one I thought was an interesting data point too. 9:20 p.m. it says that he arrives at the White House. So is this virtual right here? It's closed to press in the Oval Office. Must be. So let's get over to the main TFRs and see where he is located. It looks like he has decided to bug out and go home to get some rest. So yeah, no joke. So there's a TFR over his residence. And so that's going to be security TFR, VIP. So, yeah, it looks like he actually went home to get a little bit of rest during all of this to come back and then talk about what's really important, and it's not Afghanistan. So in terms of TFRs, not too much on here other than we got a lot of fire stuff going on up here. There's still some air show stuff, which is kind of crazy. This is a security TFR down off of Warner Robins here in Georgia. Not sure what this one is in Chicago. I'm going to pop that up and look. Air show. So, but other than that, and this is air show up here, it's just kind of looking like a normal day. Nothing really on Florida. No Space Coast operations. You can see we got some weather moving through. Still have a couple little outages up here in Michigan. Texas is kind of getting a little bit going now. And then these are all fire TFRs, so they're actually using those to put out fires and restrict the airspace. So, okay, so there is that. That's going to be the U.S. Now, let me get out of that part of it. Let's get back over to the map. Now, if we look at what is going on, so this is Kabul right here. Just kind of show you some of the things we have from video on ground and things of that nature. It is still kind of chaotic. So I'm going to start out. I just want to show you what's going on here. So we've got, this is from actually troops on the top of their vehicles actually taking video. You guys can see. There aren't enough troops there to maintain those people. It's kind of crazy to think about that, but they're all wearing body armor, but it is still they got numbers. I'm getting a video of this, and all it takes is them to decide to do that, and it wouldn't take much. So kind of crazy when you think about it. Okay, so there is that one. Now let me get back to our main picture here. This is the other piece too. I'm just going to show you guys before we kind of get into this, so you have a real good understanding of kind of the lay of the land. Okay, now this is the airport. All right, the section over here is going to be the civilian section. The top area is military, and I will take a closer look at the Google Earth so I can show you. But I just want to give you a lay of the land, how it's divided up right now. U.S. Embassy is here, so it's not a quick jaunt over to the airport, especially if you're trying to sneak over there, okay? And then this is the UK Embassy. Now, right here by the American Embassy, I want to say that's the German Embassy, and the Palace is like 1,800 yards away or something. It's all very close proximity in this area, okay? Now, get over here to Google Earth and you look at it. The area we were just looking at, that's the military side, is right here, this big section. It is not a lot of hangars, okay? Not a lot of places to really hide, although I'm sure that's what they're doing. Now, my understanding, before all this stuff went down, and talking to somebody that used to work security at the embassy there in Kabul for a while as a private contractor, he's telling me that this entire area is surrounded by artillery. So they are basically, the Taliban has artillery set up. They could strike at any time. Not to mention you got all the people that are around the airport. It's a hot mess. It is certainly a crisis, okay? All right, now let's bump over here. I just want to show you something. Now, this is the topic of the day, because this is really kind of puzzling. And the reason I say that is this is actually 82-8000, which is one of the presidential planes. Now, according to globaladsbexchange.com, which is the tracker that I use, that aircraft is at the airport in Kabul. Okay. Now, the thing is, if it is indeed there, there's a lot of questions that are raised relative to that. Because one, it'd be a very dumb move. There's nowhere to really park that thing. You can't hide it in a hangar. As I showed you, there aren't any hangars big enough for that. The other thing, it would be a dumb security move. Why would you take something so high vis and park it out there? It's a large target, knowing that you're surrounded. That just doesn't make a lot of sense. And we've got, we know that that Flashbang is not there. We know that it's not anybody else on his staff. Now, if it was SecDef, he's got his own aircraft. He would have flown that. I don't think it was 45. 45 was on Hannity last night, talking. It just doesn't fit. Now, I'm hearing that this is fake. I will tell you that you can actually do the track line, and it shows its arrival, and you can see it arrived at 4:03 in the afternoon, so 16:03. Now, let me show you some of the things that were going on at 16:03 over that airport. Now, this is on the 17th, okay? Now, this, what I'm going to show you is actually an R-135. It's one of our spy birds, okay? And it was actually flying routes completely around Kabul the whole time, okay? And so that thing is gathering all kinds of data. Like I said, it is a very sophisticated piece of equipment. Now, at the same time, this thing is circling the entire area around the airport. Now, I don't have the ability right now to speed that up, but I will tell you that it did multiple laps and it had a lot of hang time in that general area around the same time as the supposed, presidential bird flew in, okay? Now, also, I will tell you that we had a lot of air refuelers up that were flying in that same area. That no call sign right there is actually an air refueler. This one is an air refueler, also no call sign, different bird, which will tell you, that tells you there's fighters. We got fighters up, right? So we've read reports that they actually do have some air support going on, but all that stuff showed up around the same time as this supposed aircraft showed up. But we've got people that have buddies on ground, that are QRF guys that said it's not there. The other piece too is the media is there, right? And if that showed up, they would be, more than likely they'd be showing it unless they were told, don't show it. But you got all those people on the ground, some of them running around with cell phones taking videos. They would be showing it. We can't find anything on it at all. So if it's there, I don't have any proof to show that it's there. And there's no pictures, there's no video, anything showing that it's actually there. So if it was there and it was 45 and he was in on that, then even that wouldn't really fit, because for a hot minute they would sell him out that he was on ground there if that was the case. Okay, so I don't know. I'm really questioning that. I really am, because there's just nothing that would support it on ground. People that are on ground talking about it, I don't know. But this is a data point, and I don't know. It tracks the whole flight in and shows the route and everything on it. So I don't know. The jury is still out on it. Like I said, I've seen some things just in the last couple of days that look very CGI, and then you got this. I don't know. I don't know what to think, folks. Honestly, just presenting the data. Let you decide for yourself. But that is very suspect to me. I see it on there, but at the same time, nobody is reporting on it. Nobody is saying that thing is on ground. All right. Now, if I go over and I look at what is on ground there right now, you can actually go. Let me pull this up over here. This is Flight Radar 24. Now, this is what I use for my Wayback Machines. So you can actually hit that button and you can watch all the flights come in and out. That flight doesn't show up. Not a surprise. Typically wouldn't see it on this app anyway, if it were Air Force One or that aircraft. Okay. Now, remember also, in order to be deemed Air Force One, the president has to be on board. And so that aircraft arrived as NA. Okay. So it's been flying as NA for a while anyway, but I'm just pointing that out. Okay. But you can see these are things on ground. We've got some C-17s. We knew that. It's a no-brainer. These little ones that are all zeros, I don't know what those are. Military for sure. These aircraft here, when I start looking closer at them, they have N numbers. And so that would tell you that they are nationally registered with the FAA. But I will tell you, when I pull them up and look at them, they are not, there's really no data points around them. They're basically just... They don't show any current flight activity, right? This stuff is old data, which is interesting. So these are probably, I don't know, I could say agency birds or something, along those lines. But do note that we do have the United Nations in, so everything will be just fine. So that's sarcasm, by the way. Okay, now look, this is one of the flights right here, the N6090G. I just want to show you, and this is what I was talking about. Here's that aircraft. Last time it was seen is in the area. Granted, it got an N number on it, so it's registered by the FAA, registered to MD Helicopters Inc. Okay, and it's in Pakistan and Afghanistan. This is a year-old data. All right. So I don't have anything. There's no flight history or anything, but yet you see it sitting on ground there. All right, and it's been there for, what did it say, 14 days. Okay. So that's probably an agency bird, I would imagine, something they use to hop around in and out of that area. So just, again, another data point, all right? Okay, so let's break away from the Afghanistan piece. Let's get over to, I just want to show you a couple things that are kind of related to it, but it's Guantanamo Bay, all right? And so we're going to pop over here to the spa real fast because I'm going to dovetail back into this, and then we're going to look at some of the bananas coming inbound to our country. So looks like on the arrival board for today, we had United Airlines coming out of Jacksonville, and then SCX 8990, which is Sun Country. That's another 737-800 coming out of Jacksonville. So 2 aircraft arriving, 2 aircraft departing. Now, if I get over here and look at the arrival board a little closer, yesterday we had this one pop in twice. Came in at 6:35 in the morning, then came back at noon. Now, that is, let me see if I have it pulled up. Yeah, I do. That's one we'll look at a little closer here just to see where it's been. But it looks like it's been doing a lot of lifting back and forth from the spa just this week. I mean, you can see Tuesday it was at the spa multiple times. So there's your trips right there. Other than that, it's been kind of flying around the country a little bit. So again, it's just that seems to be the only one that's popping in and out. It looks like things have slowed down just a tad at the spa. It's not as hot as it was. Now, speaking of the spa, speaking of the Taliban, just wanted to point this out. As you remember, they always say, well, these guys come out of jail and they go back into society and they're good to go. They don't do anything else. All right. Well, guess what? This guy was he's a Taliban commander, and he was caught taunting the victory speech at the palace, which has been vacated. Right. There is no president there in Kabul, but he was claiming that he was just a shopkeeper and he wanted to go back and take care of his sick dad. But this is him. He spent about 5 years at the spa and was released in 2007. And so, yeah, there you have it. I'm sure every one of them that have been released back into their countries are doing the same thing. All right. Okay. Now let's look at XPL Honduras. I do want to point out we've had some activity here on Monday. We've got that's a supply run. For those not familiar with XPL Honduras, that is an alternate location to Guantanamo Bay. It's in terms of a prison setup. Okay. Now, this one is going to be a Bell 407 helicopter that came in and looks like it just went from Honduras to, stayed in country. We've looked at this one before because it's got some little floaty things on the skids. So that comes in and out on occasion. And then this one here is N400BX, which is not one. This is a new bird. We haven't seen this here before, but it's also rolling in and out of Honduras as well. That was on the 16th. You can see its location. But as we get a little closer, we'll get a closer look at this aircraft if I can get my screen to cooperate. Just a great little bird. Now, if I'm looking in it, notice, let me see if it'll let me zoom. It will. All right, let's zoom in on this bad dude if it will. Come on, maybe not. All right, that looks like a medical bed right there. See it laying down? Medical, like a. That's what I'm thinking that is right there. So this is set up to carry somebody. Looks like a medical flight. So there you have it. But yeah, and that looks like a doctor's bag on the ground. So yeah, it looks like a medical. All right. So let's bug out of XPL Honduras and let's get over to our bananas and what they have been up to. And let's see who is getting new bananas this week. So this is going to be Laughlin Air Force Base. Again, we've got these aircraft coming in. I'm going to start looking a little closer as things progress to see if we get anything that comes out of Afghanistan. But on the arrival board, it looks like on today we had one flight Swift Air that came in from San Antonio. And that is all we've got on there, at least for right now. And let me go up here and look at departures and see if we've got anything that indicates... So destination, so that one looked like it went to Alexandria, which is a 72-hour holding facility. That's the only one we've got up there. These are from last week. It was actually, you can see these are stacked up on Thursday, Friday. Looks like Thursday and Friday are the big heavy days going in and out of the Air Force Base. So let's let me just double check here. I'm not seeing. Going to go over here to schedule. Let me just see if we got any scheduled departures or scheduled arrivals coming inbound. Nope. All right, nothing else on the board. So we'll keep a close eye on that one. This is going to be all your live Swift Air flights right now. They look like they're all headed back to border towns. This one coming out of Jacksonville. And then this one looks like it's coming out of Raleigh-Durham. Let me just double check. Okay, so that's coming out of Greensboro. Headed to Ontario, California. But this one's coming out of Brownsville to Phoenix, and then Jacksonville over to Phoenix, and then Jacksonville over to Biggs Air Force Station, Fort Bliss. All right, so that, again, looks like we got a Swift Air headed into another military base. So it looks like we need to start watching Biggs to see how many of those are coming in. So it looks like they're using Laughlin, Kelly Air Force Base, and Biggs Air Force Base, Fort Bliss, which is in El Paso now. So we've got 3 military bases to watch, which is just blows my mind that they can bring illegals and put them into our military installations when normal civilians can't get on there. So, okay. Now this is N531AU coming out of Guatemala City, headed into Brownsville. So they are bringing a fresh load of bananas in. Let's get over here to our next bird. This is going to be N629SW. That one's actually coming out of Honduras up to San Antonio with a fresh load of bananas. And this one's en route right now, coming out of Jacksonville. We just looked at that, headed to Phoenix, Arizona. Now, prior to that, I want to say, no, never mind. That was the 17th. So Tuesday, that one went from... let's see where it went Tuesday. It went from Phoenix to San Diego, then San Diego down to Guadalajara, Mexico. Then it brought some bananas back up to Phoenix, Arizona. And then it looks like from Phoenix over to Houston. probably took a load over there too. So, okay. In 964 CE. Now, this is the Arctic 1 flight that it alters as a cargo bird, but I do believe this is being repurposed. Coming out of a day ago, landed. It was in Nicaragua and went up to Laredo, Texas. So, there you have it. All right. You can see this thing's just round robin back and forth from down there up to Laredo. Okay. And this is actually going to be our Texas Department of Safety. We just want to see what they're up to. Looks like they're running along the Mendoza Diagonal there, and they seem to have a lot of interest in this general area today. And so that's in 124TX. I'm not really sure what they're doing there, honestly. But let's look at its sister ship here. In 956TX, which looks like it's actually flying right now. And that's UVA. That's the general area that they've been searching, but it looks like it's got a new area a little further north than last time. So a little search pattern there. Let me see what the altitude is on that one. That's pretty, 4,500 feet. So yeah, I think they're looking for bananas. From what it seems like, if you look at the map here, this UVA area, we can get to pull up. This was where they were searching previously. Now it's a little further north, which is, I guess they've gotten that far. That's a long distance, actually. I don't know how they would get that far in just a couple of days, but yeah, looks like they just keep getting further and further inland. So, all right, now this is actually the Mexican airline that we've been watching. Just wanted to show you the amount of aircraft that are coming into our country right now from there. So you can see it's quite a few. Very, very busy. Very interesting. But, I mean, they're all the way up here in Hickory, North Carolina to Laredo out to Harrisburg International. Little CRJ right here that looks like it's coming out of Mexico into Laredo. Like I said, this is, this looks like this is their version of Swift Air. Like they're just bringing them straight in using the same routes as Swift Air. So there you have it. All right. Okay. Now, I think we've got everything pretty covered. One of the things I do want to talk about, and I'm going to go back and we'll actually look at the U.S. real fast before we wrap up. But if you get a chance, and this is something you want to do, no pressure. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying, hey, if you feel like giving, this is actually for helping Afghanistan. But these folks, this Nazarene Fund, I think it was started and originated by Glenn Beck, and he's got another one, Mercury One or something. But, it gives you an opportunity. But what they're doing is basically rescuing people. You can go down here and look at the numbers. You can look at a lot of stuff. Gives you different ways to do and different values. But if you're watching all this chaos go on and you feel like, God's put it on your heart and you want to do that, it's nothing in it for me. I wasn't asked to do this. I just, I'm going to give to it because it looks like they need some help, and it looks like it's going to a good cause. And so just want to put that out there. I will have a link to that down in the description here on the channel. But this is a time as Christians for us to shine and help each other out. And believe it or not, there's still a lot of Americans stuck there. I heard the number was about 5,000 that did not get out. But this isn't just rescuing Americans. It's helping people that are stuck in slavery and all kinds of different stuff within all those countries. And you can look at this. Like I said, there's a lot of good information in here. You can see where they operate in and out of, it's pretty crazy. Just the stuff that's going on in the world right now. And so, again, just an opportunity to be a Christian and shine. So, okay, let me get back over to our main map, and I want to show what's going on here in the U.S. Now, this stuff that's going on, again, coming into Europe and down here in UAE, this seems to be where they're setting up all the hub for everything right out of here. But it's just been a constant stream, day and night, of C-17s back and forth coming across the drink. And so I don't know what our troop level is going to look like when it's all said and done. Again, like I said, I try not to show it when everything is going down. Again, right now there it's about 3:45, it's about maybe 4 a.m. little bit past 4 a.m. right now in Afghanistan. So not a lot on the map when we get on to show these things. During the day, it's a little bit more busy. But again, just from an OPSEC perspective, I'm not doing that. Now, I've had people tell me that, oh, this is all CGI. It's fake. I will tell you that when talking to my friend Justin, who, like I said, you guys saw my interview with him. He was he ran security as a contractor at the embassy for a long time. He's done several tours in that region and in Afghanistan. But he's got friends on the ground, and I can tell you they are fighting for their lives right now because they are being hunted down and executed because they helped Americans during all that time. They have a list, and they know where they live, and they are basically going door to door. And so I've seen pictures that his buddy has sent me, and I'm not going to show you those because I don't want to compromise him. But yeah, it's real. He's there, and what's going on is real. So anyway, just a data point. Definitely need to be keeping these folks in our prayers. I know I said that they're bringing a bunch of them here, like 30,000 of them into Texas. So on Friday, I will have a petition, a link to a petition. If you want to go and sign it, it's basically telling Greg Abbott, get it together, or we're going to get you out of the office. We're going to recall you because you're not listening to your people. And so bring in what we have at the southern border on top of what we got coming in with these folks on aircraft is just, it's unacceptable. So anyway, all right. So looking at the U.S., we're sitting at about 124 up right now. Looks like we got a lot of helo activity up here in the Northeast. Again, a lot of C-17s been moving all day. You can see a lot of C-130s over here in the San Diego area, and up here at Beale Air Force Base, a lot of C-130s too. So looks to be a lot of movement of goods, not just domestically, but looks like everything's going across the drink right now. All hands on deck. So this is going to be an interesting couple days, couple weeks, actually probably a couple months. So stay frosty out there. Don't let your guard down and stand your ground. All right. So that's going to be it for our SITREP tonight. We will be back on Friday. If anything changes or I get any more intel on this Air Force One aircraft at Kabul, I'll let you guys know. We're going to keep digging on it and see if we can find out. I'm probably going to reach out to the owner that runs this ABS or ADSB exchange and see if he can scratch, pull a data point, see if it's actually a legit, or if it's not. So kind of hard to hide something that big. All right. So, all right, that's it. Listen, God bless. You guys be safe out there. Monkey out. Check out the latest gear and products at monkeyworksus.com.